Welcome back to Inspiring Builds. I'm Dan, and in this video I will show you how to build a fireplace wall and add value to your home. A lot of people have seen this fireplace wall and have asked how to get started, as the project can be intimidating to take on if you've never done it before. I'm going to break it down in 3 easy steps to make it simple for you and get you to a point where after it's framed out, then you can decide how to finish it, such as stone here, or another fast and easy option such as shiplap. If you do decide the stone route and like this look, I will link the full-length step-by-step video at the end. This master bedroom had double crown molding with uplighting in the tray ceiling, so the plan was to build the fireplace wall 9 feet high and keep all of the crown. I strongly recommend to tape out the area and marking where the fireplace, mantle, and TV height will be if installing one. Take your time viewing the layout, and getting a good view of the fireplace from the bed was an important factor. Make any adjustments needed, and then I prefer to move on to SketchUp to build out the framing. If I get enough interest here, I will release detailed plans of the framing so you can duplicate the setup if you desire. Remove the TV and anything along the wall to have a clear work area. My right-hand man helped out with this heavy old plasma TV. I strongly believe it's important to work with and inspire the next generation. You can use a tape measure, but this laser one is quick and super accurate, coming in handy when measuring long distances solo. I will provide a link to it in the description below. I prefer to measure twice to get the total distance and then divide the number in half and make a mark on the wall for the center point, as the fireplace will be centered on this wall. Use a stud finder to locate and mark each stud location where the frame will be. The width of a stud is 1.5 inches, and 1x6 boards will be secured to the wall in the middle of each stud where the X is marked. A total of 5 studs here was marked out. Once all of the studs are marked, take a level and make a mark on each side of the 5 studs from floor to ceiling. I always trim the ends to ensure the lumber is square and I have a clean cut. A total of 4 1x6s will be secured to the wall to support the frame. Cut to the width of the frame at 67 inches. Use a speed square, and I believe in cutting once and measuring twice. Don't forget not to cut directly on a line, as your boards will come up short. You want the blade to be beside the cut line. In this instance, the blade will be to the right of the cut line. I found it much easier to temporarily secure the 1x6s to the wall with a brad nailer while using a level. To secure the 1x6s to the studs, I went to my go-to screws with a star drive head. I use these screws as they're easy to start, drive fast, have a precision fit, doesn't strip, and easy to countersink as shown without a countersink bit. I installed 2 screws into each stud and used my magnetic wristband to make quick work out of it. These wristbands are a game changer. To make it easy for you, all of the tools and supplies used, with most importantly the fireplace, will be linked in the description below. Repeat the same process for the other 3 for a total of 4. Strategically place them above the baseboard, around electrical outlets, and with the frame being narrow, I wanted to ensure I avoided one being behind the fireplace for clearance. For the sides of the frame, I started by attaching 2 9-foot 2x4s with 7 2.5-inch pieces sandwiched between to get the desired depth of the fireplace wall. Clamps are super helpful to align and hold everything in place. To attach the side frame, I used the same type of star drive head screws, but used 3 1/8-inch screws. 2 screws were used to secure the side frame in each 1x6. Repeat the process for the other side frame. The goal with this fireplace wall was to make it narrow in depth to maximize the square footage of the room, while also leaving enough clearance for the fireplace, and lastly, a depth that looked good with the corner sections of stone that will be used later in the video. Ensure to check that everything is plumb and level throughout the process. Once both of the side frames are up, the framing should look like this. To get the desired depth of the fireplace you want, just change the length of the 2x4 pieces sandwiched between the side frames. Moving on to the front frame, I continued to ensure everything was square. 2 1/2-inch screws were used for all of the framing except for attaching the sides to the wall. I framed up until the point where the fireplace goes, as I wanted to test fit the fireplace to make any needed small adjustments. I did my research and wanted a high-quality, realistic smart fireplace that was easy to install for any DIYer from a company with a proven track record and excellent customer service. I went with the Sideline 50-inch Elite Recessed Electric Fireplace, model 80036 from Touchstone that I will provide a link to in the description below. I was blessed to collaborate with Touchstone for this build, and they provided the fireplace that was packaged very well. This fireplace can connect to your Wi-Fi and be operated by the easy-to-use app, as well as came with a remote. It has smart technology that is compatible with Amazon Alexa and Google Home, and best of all, their customer service is top-notch. Remove the glass panel prior to installation. There are 2 screws in the top vent opening, one on the far left and one on the far right that secure the left and right trim pieces in place. After removing the screws, tilt the glass panel away from the fireplace and lift the glass panel away from the fireplace to remove it. Store the glass panel in a soft, dry place until the end of the build. Before installing the fireplace, plug it in to test it to ensure that it operates properly. Remove the 2 brackets on each side of the flame area as shown. Keep the screws and brackets handy as they will be reinstalled later. These are the mounting holes to fasten the fireplace to the framing studs. Lay out the frame for the fireplace to align with the fireplace rough opening dimensions. Do a test fit first and make any small adjustments needed. I did another test with the frame standing up to allow the fireplace to be flush with the front opening. The width was fine, but I adjusted the height to 19 inches to avoid any rubbing. If installing a TV, I recommend having the TV mount to lay out the top of the front framing. I aligned the studs so that the studs left and right of the center stud was 24 inches on center. This made it easy for the TV mount to be anchored into studs and the TV mount to be centered on the fireplace wall. The front frame fit like a glove. I secured the front frame with several screws up the entire length to both side frames. With the help of a second person, insert the fireplace into the opening. Make sure the fireplace is level. Use the screws provided to fasten the fireplace to the framing studs, fastening down 2 screws on each side. Once the fireplace is secure, reinstall the 2 brackets removed earlier. The fireplace is now ready to have the crystals and/or logs placed inside of the fireplace. I really appreciate you watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you can get notified when I release new videos.